Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to give you something that I'm looking at over the course of, the next 3 to 6 weeks. Maybe it can play out for a little bit longer. These are some themes that we got started in the rooms last week and have really started to build on themselves. So part of my foundation for this thinking was coming in and looking at the SMH semiconductors and noting that over the past 6 years, October and November tend to be some of their best months. Now, when we look at October, we can see that 83% of the time over these past 6 years, the ETF has been up. So, that's helpful, but where this gets further, more interesting is that, that month was up with an average gain of 1.4%, which is modest. But then when you see it for November, not only has it been up every November of the past 6 years, but, with an average gain of nearly 12%. So that starts looking, like a good seasonal spot to be looking bullish. So when I take that point of view and then I move it over into the chart, you can see a daily that is working, a bearish channel that you could look at from the point of view of a low and a high, then a lower low and a lower high, right? We are moving inside that bearish channel. But if you step back and give it the weekly time frame, it's just such a different perspective, right? Because from here, you have a bullish relationship to your primary 618, which is to say that if bears were really going to take control of this, they should have kept price below 130.37. As you start to clear that proportion, I look for 4 targets overhead, one of which has already been accomplished, right? That was the previous swing high at 159.35. So that target 1 has been made, and then 2, 3, and 4 are going to take you up there with a final target of 206. So, let the daily come back down if it needs to, ebb and flow through October, but then setting these up for their buys, a little bit bigger horizon, I think could be some good trades. So that's the sector-based review, and then you can break that down and look at a few of the components. Part of what spurred this conversation is you're already seeing AVGO, I believe, trying to show us what this sector wants to do. When you look back on this and you see all this volume right through here, well, that was earnings. An exaggerated volume around earnings is pretty typical. What about right here? This July 21st bar, this has a huge amount of volume, but I don't believe there's anything to interpret from that because that's the monthly expiration. So all the hedging and just all the stuff that goes on around that, very likely attributed to that volume. Today has none of that. Right? This is not earnings. This is just your typical run-of-the-mill Thursday, but you still have excellent volume. So that kind of caught my eye. And again, it's thinking, all right, that product is trying to show us what the sector wants to do. And then inside that, you also have applied materials. Now, a little bit of a wick today. So I'd really like to pick this one up around 140, maybe 138 if I could, and then target up there overhead about 166. And then we'll also be watching AMD, where, into tomorrow, there's very little chance of it closing above 110. That's going to be a wall of resistance for the Friday weekly expiration. But then once you get through that, I'm thinking that there could be a path up into 120. So at least for now, it's one of my favorite sectors. It may take some time to see the weekly play out, but between that tendency in November and the squeezes we're seeing, just wanted to make sure that you were aware of them. But y'all have a great rest of your evening. I hope to see you in the rooms tomorrow, and we will pick up the conversation there. Hey traders, this is Henry with simplertrading.com. I wanted to thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. And if so, be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons down below. If you would like to also see me putting these ideas into action and trading my own account live in front of you, be sure to sign up at simplertrading.com, and I hope to see you in the chat room sometime soon.